Hello guys, today I'll be taking you through a simple approach to technical analysis, that is breaking down the structure of the market from a higher time frame to a lower time frame in order for you to get trade opportunities to enter the market. Alright, so to begin with, you first have to go to the weekly time frame. That is, you need to start from a higher time frame, which is the weekly time frame. First of all, you want to discover where price is coming from. So looking at the weekly time frame of Solana, Sol USDT, we can see from August 2020 the price was actually moving in an uptrend, and then at some point we crashed down, and at the moment we are at this level. Alright, so looking at this, I can see that it's in two phases. First phase was an uptrend, and then second phase is a downtrend. Alright, so now when you open the chart on the weekly time frame, you want to squeeze the chart so that you can see the clear picture of what the market actually is doing. So you squeeze the chart to make it look like what I have on the screen, and then what you want to do is identify key levels. Alright, so I explain key levels as turning points, any area where there was a turning point. Alright, so let me illustrate that. So looking at this top here, it's a key level because when price was moving up, when it got to this level, it got rejected, it got turned from an uptrend to a downtrend. So you want to identify key levels, in other words turning points on the higher time frame. The reason why we want to do this is because these levels act as a very strong areas of support and resistance. Anytime price gets to these areas, it's going to respect it. So we want to identify these key levels and then scale down to another time frame and see what price is doing as well. Alright, so in order to identify your key levels, you use the horizontal tool. I have it right here on my screen. You can as well come to the trend line tools and then you search for horizontal line. This is it. So you just click on it and then I can see this level, so I indicate that like this. Alright, so another turning point, this is the top, so let me consider the bottom as well. So I can identify a bottom right at $0. So I'll bring my horizontal line and identify my bottom level, which is $0. So I need to edit the coordinates. You come to settings, coordinates, and then you edit it to $0. So good, that's it. So now we're looking at key level. So let's see, I can also spot another key level at $50, which is right here. And there was turning points right here. Okay, so we want to identify that as well. Good. And then we also have a key level at I think $75. So we want to identify that. So because you should always put in mind that key levels or turning points, they are areas of support and resistance. When price gets to these levels, it has to respect it, either bounce back, like turn away from it. Yeah, that's the the simple definition of a turning point. So price will bounce back from that area. Alright, so let's continue. I can also see a turning point at here, which is around, let me see, I think $140. So let me indicate that as well. $140. Good. Alright, and I think that will be all. Okay, no, I can see another key level at I think $22. So I'll indicate that as well, which is right here. $22. Good. So on the weekly time frame, this is the major key levels I have been able to identify. So now I will scale down to the daily time frame and then see what prices as well doing. All right, so now come into my daily time frame, and then you make sure to squeeze the chart so that you can see what price is doing actually. All right, so now we can see how well our key levels are showing on the daily time frame. Okay, so on the daily time frame you can see some other key levels too which you can mark, but I think for now I'll keep what we have on the chart just like that. As price keeps going on, I'll be adding more key levels, but for now I think I'll keep. Okay, I can see one at $200, so I'll indicate that right here. $200, there was a turning point. Let me zoom so you see well. Good. So when price got to this level, see there was a turning point and then price crashed down. Same here. When price go here, it crashed all the way down. So there's a very good key level. Alright. So after that, now you've been able to identify that from this top all the way to this bottom is a downtrend, right? So that is the first thing we want to establish. So we can say for a fact that from this top, which is right here around $250, to this bottom, which is around $7, is a downtrend, right? So that means our major trend is a downtrend. I hope you get me. Alright, so now you want to look at the immediate trend within this whole downtrend. That is the next thing you want to establish. After establishing the bigger picture of the trend, which is a downtrend, you also want to establish the immediate trend within the overall downtrend. I hope it's very clear. So what you do is, you zoom a bit so you can see the structure very well. Alright, so right. Okay, so I can clearly see a downtrend. So if you're having a downtrend, that means you can put a trend line to the trend, right? So for a downtrend, you always put the trend line above the candles. So I can spot this downtrend, which is right here. I'm having a good number of touches. So with a trend line, you want to make sure you are getting a good number of touches. So I'm having a first touch here, I'm having a second touch here, I'm having a third touch here, and then a final touch right here. So this is what I'm seeing. So from this top to this bottom, I can clearly see this downtrend right here. Now let me zoom a bit. I can as well see that at some point price broke out of this downtrend, but it crashed, and I can see some, like I said, we want to identify the immediate trend within this downtrend. I can clearly see for trading, you don't have to always depend on your two eyes. You need to get something we call a third eye. Just like solving mathematics, you need to have a third eye always. That is what trading is actually about. If you don't have the third eye, it will be very difficult for you to identify patterns. It will be very difficult for you to identify trends. So I can clearly see that from this point, let me indicate with a circle. From this point, I can clearly see the market has been in a downtrend. So from here, the price came here, went back, came, went back, came, went back, came, went back, came, and now it's pulling back to this level. So I can clearly see that from this point, the market is in a downtrend. And like I said, if you identify a trend, you need to put a trend line to it. So if it is a downtrend, then I need to put a trend line above the candles. So I can see some good number of touches right here. So just here exactly. Good. So I've been able to establish another downtrend as well. So now what I want to do is still identify the immediate trend within this downtrend I am having. Alright, so let me take it from this point, which is also where 2023 started. So now this is still on the daily time frame. Now let me scale down to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, so this is the 4 hour time frame. So now from this downtrend, this is the first touch, you have the second touch, you have the third touch, and our price is making a move to give us a fourth touch. All right, so this is what we want to establish from 2023. When price, after price having this second touch, it crashed down to this level, which is around $10. And from since 2023 started, we've been in an uptrend, right? So let me zoom a bit on the 4 hours. This is quite easy, it's easy. All right, so I can see an uptrend. I don't know if you can also spot the same thing. All right, so right from here, like I said, we want to identify the immediate trend within the overall trend. All right, so at the moment we're having this. Since 2023 started, we were in an uptrend. So this Solana, this is what we've been trading so far. So from this, so let me indicate that with the horizontal line. From $80 right here, we've been pumping. This is 2023 right here. We've been pumping all the way from $80 to $26, which is quite good. All right, now after this uptrend, we saw a break of this uptrend to a downtrend, right? So let me squeeze it and then use the arrow to indicate for you to see properly. All right, so from here, let me change the color to, let me see, blue. All right, so from $8 where 2023 started, we saw a push, and then we came down, came up, came down, and now we're going up. I hope you get me. So this is quite easy. So this is the trend now. So we can see that from here, from this point to this point, if I should label it point 1, it's an uptrend. That is why I have my trend line. From point 2 to point 3, it's a downtrend. I can put a trend line to it. From point 3 to point 4, it's an uptrend. I can put a trend line to it. From point 4 to point 5 is a downtrend. I can put a trend line to it. And then from point 5 to point 6 is an uptrend. I can put a trend line to it. So now I can identify that from point 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, from point 5 to wherever price is going is an uptrend. So I can put a trend line. If it is an uptrend, the trend line should be below the candles. So this is my immediate trend from this whole analysis I've been doing. So I can put a trend line right here. So I can scale down to 1 hour and then put a trend line. Sorry, my network is quite slow. I'm scaling down to 1 hour. The network is quite slow. Alright, so it's back. So this is how it is. This is 0.5. 0.5 was right here, if you can remember. So all you do is you put a trend line, right? Because this is our immediate trend. You put a trend line to it. It's very easy. Put a trend line. You make sure you get a good number of touches. Alright, so the current trade we took was this setup. I think I saw this key level right here, like this. Let me change the color to blue, and then I also saw this triangle pattern sort of one here, so it was something like this. And then let me make it work. Alright, and then I was also looking at price breaking out of this blue triangle. So after the breakout we had a pullback, and then we just take our entry right. You can, anywhere. So I took it right here. Let me change this to red. Yeah, and that is a very good trade we took with a risk to reward ratio of 5. So this is what we just took. So in a nutshell, this is the whole summary of breaking down the structure of the market from a higher time frame to a lower time frame, which is also known as top-down analysis. I hope you find this video very helpful. Thank you very much.